Okay. Na, nama om. Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminite Namane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Charine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Yadesa Tarine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Charine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Yade Shatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Hey Gadadha Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hey Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. One more. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jayom Vishnupada Paramhansa Parabrajacharya Astatara Sattashri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Sikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath Shamakunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Mathura Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulasi Devi Ki Jai. Yamuna Mai Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Sham Veda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So, Today, we're going to try to talk a little bit about that Krishna consciousness is simple and sublime. Sound effects. Krishna consciousness is simple and sublime. I was just opened the book here. It's called Bhagavad Gita as it is. Oh, can you see that? Yeah, there it is. And it says, Srila Prabhupada writes, this is in the 6th chapter, 34th verse purport. Srila Prabhupada says, in the Vedic literature, it is said, Atmanam, Ratinam, Vidhi, Shariram, Ratam, Evacha. It's a long verse, 4 lines. Srila Prabhupada translates, the individual, that's me, the individual is the passenger in the car. What kind of car? The individual is a passenger in the car of the material body. Imagine that. And, you know, when you're in a car, you have to use your intelligence. Which way? And intelligence is the driver. Intelligence is like having a sense of direction. You have a map from here to there, just like you can see in this on the screen, this background. There's a bridge from one side of the body of water to the other. So we want to get to the other side. We're in the material world. So the individuals, we're like, this body is just like a car. That's what Srila Prabhupada said. The individual, he's the passenger in the car of the material body. And the intelligence is the driver. Now, then there's the mind. The mind is the driving instrument, left or right, or straight or back. So, but the mind is making decisions on the basis of what? On the basis of the intelligence, which is saying, one person's intelligence is saying that the goal of life, gratify my senses as much as possible. This is the goal. And another person saying that the goal of life is to reach the other side from the material world to the spiritual world. So then the mind, depending on the intelligence, the orientation of the intelligence, the mind is going to accept and reject things that come in front of us, that we encounter. So the mind is the driving instrument, but the but the intelligence is the, what does Srila Prabhupada said? Intelligence is the driver, and the mind is the driving instrument. And the senses, the senses are like horses. We're in a car, but this car, it's like one of the, like Arjuna's car has got horses. And the self is the enjoyer or the sufferer in association of the mind and the senses. So Srila Prabhupada says, it is understood by a great thinker, real intelligent person. He thinks the intelligence is supposed to direct the mind, but the mind is so strong and obstinate that it is overcome. It overcomes often overcomes even one's intelligence. Such a strong mind is supposed to be controlled. How? By the practice of yoga. Okay. So that's what simple and sublime. That Krishna consciousness, simple. The other forms of spiritual realization are so difficult. As Krishna says, Bahunam Janmanam Ante. Ante means like the end, like Vedanta, Ante. Ante, the goal, the after so many, Bahunam Janmanam. Janma means birth. We take so many births in the material world. There are 8,400,000 species of life. And I was told this morning by one of my godbrothers that Srila Prabhupada writes that the first birth we take is the birth as Lord Brahma. But then gradually we come down to the other modes, and we go through 8 million. Imagine we've been, aside from this lifetime, we've been everything that we can imagine. Now, I can see, sometimes I'm looking at YouTube, I try to control myself, but there are, where the lion is, there, these creatures, they cannot live unless, they can only live by catching. We can take prasadam, fruits and vegetables, but they cannot eat fruits and vegetables. They can only take flesh and blood. We've been on the receiving end of those animals, and we've been those animals ourselves. Can you imagine? We've been, and now we've come to the human form of life. You know, it's dawning on me, different things come to mind, but just by being in these discussions together, we're safe. Who can you have a discussion like this with? Only with other devotees. Everyone else is too busy. They're too busy, or they have goals for sense gratification. Eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. But, and we're trying to be Krishna conscious. We're cultivating Krishna consciousness, at least for myself. I know I'm a beginner. Sometimes devotees talk amongst our spiritual family, our godbrothers, godsister, whatever. They talk about senior devotees there, but because they think because you're here for a longer period of time, you're a senior. There's nobody, but it doesn't actually work like that. Somebody could actually come and receive a Bhagavad Gita on their first day, on their first week. So I'm here for 50 years or whatever, but on their first day, on their first week, they can be more close to Krishna than me. This is true. There's no seniority. It's not a caste system. Some people are thinking by birth. If they're born, they have rules that if you're born in the house of a Brahmin, only then you can be a spiritual teacher. They talk like that. It's a caste system. Similarly, if somebody's thinking an older devotee is more advanced in Krishna consciousness than a new devotee, that's another form of a caste system. It's not true. It's not true. So, anyway, I go off on my tangents. So we want to become Krishna conscious, and the process is simple. So Sri Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita, some people believe that knowledge, Vedic knowledge, very, very important. We need, it's called the Vedanta Sutra. In Vedanta Sutra, so I was saying that just by being together like this, we're all safe, we're protected. It's such a wonderful thing just to have the association of devotees. As long as we're discussing these subject matters, whether speaking or hearing or singing together, chanting, we're safe. And that's all we have to do, is devote our minds and our hearts to this process. So it's very simple. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Bahunam Janmanam Ante. So Ante, after, Janma means birth. Bahunam Janmanam, after many, many births, maybe hundreds, maybe thousands. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, in the 72nd verse, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes that, I'll turn to the page, 260, 61, there. This is the purport, first line in the purport. One can attain Krishna consciousness. One can attain Krishna consciousness or divine life at once, within a second. Or one may not attain such a state of life even after millions of births. It is only a matter of understanding and accepting the fact. So Srila Prabhupada is saying, this is a fact, that simply by engaging our mind in Krishna consciousness as opposed to material consciousness, we are in touch with Krishna. It's simply a matter of understanding, having this understanding and being able to accept it. Just like we're chanting Hare Krishna mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Can you imagine, you know that Krishna is in Krishna Loka? We think Krishna is very far away, sometimes we think like that. But actually, there's no space or time in the spiritual dimension like material space and time. Krishna is right here with us, and when we are in touch with that sound vibration, we're personally in touch with Krishna. This is something we have to contemplate, really, really contemplate. Every day, think of it, that the sound, Hare Krishna, that we are in touch with Krishna. The realization depends on how much we accept it. The realization is how much we embrace the understanding. It's only a matter of understanding and accepting. And the more, so then we say, wow, Krishna, he's so great, we can't even conceive how great he is. Like from Mahavishnu, who comes from Sankarshan, Krishna expands himself as Balaram. Sankarshan coming down to Mahavishnu, and from his breathing, unlimited millions, trillions of universes are coming into existence. And this planet is one planet in a universe we cannot imagine. But there's unlimited millions of universes, trillions, and they're coming from Mahavishnu, who is an expansion of an expansion of an, coming from Krishna. And Krishna, this is how kind Krishna is, that he's letting us have his personal association right now, right here, right now. Hare Krishna, and we're in touch with Krishna. If we really think about that, if we really contemplate this, then we're left speechless. So then these people say, well, it's very nice that you can say things like this, but when I have realization, then I'll be ecstatic when I chant Krishna's name. But Srila Prabhupada is telling us that's backwards. Srila Prabhupada is saying it's not that when we have realization we'll be ecstatic. Of course we will. But it's not that cause and effect. It's not that if I do my practice completely, very with my great determination, and I follow the whole checklist of all the things to do and all the things don't do, that I will earn points. That's the way the material world works. People earn points, and when they get enough points, they get a reward. Similarly, there's so many sports. It's all about who gets the most points. The people who get the most points, whether it's basketball or football or hockey or soccer, the one who gets the most points, they get a reward. So we're thinking spiritual life works that way. But spiritual life doesn't work that way. It's not about gaining points. It's about acceptance. It's only a matter, Srila Prabhupada says, of understanding and accepting the fact that Krishna consciousness, Srila Prabhupada says, is not an artificial imposition on the mind. To accept this consciousness is not artificial, it's our real consciousness. And all we have to do is accept it and be happy to receive it, that we have it, that it's being offered to us. So, after many, many births and deaths, so other people, they say, no, it can't be that easy. Something that is really worthwhile, it has to take a great deal of effort. One has to work very, very hard. You can't have easy. So they feel that way about spiritual life. So the Gyanis, they are so much knowledge, Vedic knowledge. So they're trying, so for many, many births, Srila Prabhupada says, one might not come to the point of Krishna consciousness in millions of births. So Krishna says that these people, Bahunam Janmanamante Gyanavam Mam Prapadyante Vasudevam Sarvamiti Samahatma Sadurlava. After many, many births, one will come to the understanding that Krishna is everything. Vasudev Sarvamiti. He's the all in all. He says, and then he will surrender. Then he will surrender. And it's such a great, but Krishna says, very rare that someone will come to that point. Such a great soul. Samahatma, such a great broad-minded soul. Sadurlabha, very rare. So if one, Srila Prabhupada's point is that if after going through this very tedious process of cultivating knowledge, I'm not this body, I'm not this mind, I'm not this intelligence, so many things, the cycle of birth and death, the laws of karma, all of the Varnashram system. There are 22 books called Dharma Shastras, 22 different books filled with rules that if you do everything perfect, then you come to a certain point in your evolution. So it goes on Vedanta Sutra. So the first part of Vedanta Sutra, Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. Sambandha means to understand the rules of the game. You want to play any sport, you have to know the rules first. You want to drive a car, you have to know the rules of the road. You have to understand how the car works. You have to understand how to take care of the car. You have to, so many things. So the rules, and what is my real nature? That I'm not, this is Sambandha. Then Abhideya means, okay, Sambandha means, I'm not the servant of my country. I'm not the servant of so many things. People are engaged in so many causes to this and that. You can save the whole planet with food, with hospitals, with universities for free, with clothes. You can save the dogs, save the cats, save all the animals. It still will have to deal with the cycle. We're still in the cycle of birth and death. We haven't solved the real problems. There are only 4 problems. And if we can solve those problems, we've solved all the problems. And the only thing we can do for the other people, the other spirit souls who are here in this world, suffering in the cycle of birth and death, suffering in such terrible ways, is to give them this knowledge of Krishna consciousness by which they can leave the cycle of birth and death. But we can't give them in the cycle of birth this knowledge unless we have this knowledge. Why are we inspired to accept Bhagavad Gita as it is? It's coming from Srila Prabhupada. His conviction and his realization and his potency as a spiritual being, as an intimate associate of Lord Krishna. All of this gives us the ability to have faith. So, Sambandha, then Abhideya. What is the process for working with this knowledge? If I'm Krishna Sambandha, I'm Krishna's eternal servant. And that's my real identity. Abhideya means I take up the activities and cultivate this understanding. And Prayojana means that what is the character of the living force in the eternal, in his eternal way of being. that Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya is the living force. Charita means the character. Chaitanya Charita. What is the character of the force? In the immortal position, Amrita. Chaitanya Charita Amrita. The character of the living force in his immortal condition. So that is prayojana. What is it like to be a realized soul? And can we have that that realization? So after many, many births of collecting knowledge, gyan, then one may understand that I have to surrender to Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada's point is, if we have to come to this point of surrender to Krishna, why wait for millions of births? Why not do it now? You get the same benefit without all that hard work. Then we have in Bhagavad Gita, the yogis. The yogis, Krishna describes to us, you have to live in the forest. You can't live in your apartment or your house, your condominium. You have to go to the forest and be dressed in the sheepskin or something and sit and meditate. And it's impossible. Arjuna is such a great personality, personal friend of Krishna. He says, I can't do that. And what are those stages? First, us yam, niyam, things we have to do to be moral and clean and pure. Niyam, things we don't do. Then next, asana, different sitting postures of yoga for making the body more quiet, balancing the airs within the body, the prana, so the mind can be quiet. Then pranayam, breathing exercise, again to make the mind quieter, and that's only the beginning. And then there are different stages of meditation, deeper, 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 to understand that I'm spirit. And then, if he comes to understand that I'm a Krishna's eternal servant, then he knows I have to take up bhakti, devotional service. But if one can understand and accept that this is my real identity, he doesn't have to develop jnana for millions of births, and he doesn't have to engage in bhakti yoga in this Ashtanga yoga. Difficult. So Krishna consciousness is simple as opposed to difficult. It's simple and it's sublime. So simple means all you have to do is accept it, that this is true. And as much as we accept it, that's how much we realize it. All we have to do is accept. So this is very amazing. It's not that we have to attain realization by earning points. And when we become realized, then we'll become joyfully enthusiastic in Krishna's service. When we become realized. And Srila Prabhupada says, and Srila Rupa Goswami says, in the Nectar of Instruction, when you become joyfully enthusiastic, that will be your realization. Immediately, in the moment. It's just a question of understanding and accepting that this is the reality, that this is who I really am. Well, that's very, very, I'm looking for a word, revolutionary. It's very hard for the material mind to accept that Krishna consciousness means that spiritual life is at hand, 100%. It doesn't mean, of course, that I will be immediately falling on the ground, rolling on the ground in ecstasy. It doesn't mean that all the hairs on my body will be standing on end. It doesn't mean necessarily that my voice will be choked up and I won't be able to speak because I'm in so much. It doesn't mean my body will become stunned, but it means that I will feel that this is a reality, that this is so uplifting, that this is nicer than anything in the material world can offer me. And I want more. And the more we live on this platform, the more it expands within us. The more our realization of it expands. As we practice, we feel it's nice, that our faith becomes stronger. That we have to have a living experience in order to go forward. That's why Srila Prabhupada says in Bhagavad Gita 4:34 in the purport that Srila Prabhupada says blind following, just doing it because we're told to do it, he says this blind following is condemned. It's condemned. He wants us to have realization. And we can have this realization to the degree that we accept that this is the reality. Well, that's amazing. That's why it's so simple. I'm looking for a verse in my head. He says, Mad Bhakti Labhate Param. Yeah, he's looking for... I can't think of it now.
Brahma Bhuta Prasantatma?
No, Yoginam Api Sarvesham. Of all the yogis, thank you, Prabhu. Of all the yogis, there's so many kinds of yogis. They're all working very hard. They're doing such austerities. People are doing such austerities. They're sitting on the ice, on the glacier, where the Yamuna or the Ganges River is starting, and they're sitting and they're taking bath in the freezing water, and they're wrapping the wet cloth around them and sitting like that on the bank. We don't have to do any of that. After millions of years of doing that, one may develop mystic powers, but most of the time when people become powerful, financially, socially, economically, financially, politically, they become... Why are we here in the material world? Because we all want to be Krishna. Imagine, to accept that, to see, to be confronted with the fact that why am I here? Because I wanted Krishna's position for myself. So we should say to Krishna, maybe every day, Krishna, I apologize. I want to come back and be your servant. Yeah. So yoginam, of all the yogis, yoginam api sarvesham. Sarva means all. Yoginam api sarvesham. Madgaten antaratmana. Now, that's a very beautiful phrase. Atmana, within the heart. Antaratmana, inside, in the heart. Gati is the goal of life. Gati. Madgatena, meaning making me the goal within the core of your heart. Within the core of our heart. He says, of all the yogis, and all kinds of yogis, that one who makes me, within the core of his heart, the goal of his whole practice. And how does he do that? Madgatena antaratmana Shraddhavan bhajate yomam. Shraddha, with faith, bhajata, with love and faith. He's making me the goal of his whole practice within the core of his heart, with love and faith. Same yukta tamo mata. He's the greatest yogi of all. This is what Krishna is advertising. This is what Krishna is selling. That Krishna consciousness is simple. It's not the difficult process of Gyan. It's not the difficult process of yoga. It's not the difficult process of karma. The karmis, there are the rules of karma and varnish. 22 Dharma Shastras. And if you do something wrong, there's penalties. You have to do. Yeah. So no one can do like that. But we can become devotees. So it's simple. It's simple and sublime. So we've been talking about simplicity. That all Krishna consciousness is only a matter of understanding and accepting. That can't be more simple than that. Krishna consciousness is only a matter of understanding and accepting that I'm Krishna's servant, that this is my eternal nature. So sublime means transcendental. Sublime means spiritual. That although we're here in the material world, but we are spirit soul. We're here in the material world, but we are eternal spirit souls. The only difference between whether or not the material nature, the three modes of material nature, have us locked up, that have a strong grip on our consciousness, the only thing that makes the difference is our consciousness. That's true. If we believe that the goal of life is to gratify my senses, that's materialism in a nutshell, that I'm this body, and to make this body happy, and my mind, to have more wealth, more power, more everything, just more, and never enough. Why is it never enough? Because I'm not this body, I'm not material, so no matter how much material I have, there's no sense of if I can love my house, I can love my car, it won't love me back. It's dead matter. I can love my house, it won't love me back. I can love my credit cards, my bank account. I can have millions and millions of dollars. I can fill a bathtub up with $100 bills and lie in it. But they won't give me anything. I'll think I better get out of this bathtub and go and make more. I just need more, and then I'll be happy. And this is material consciousness. Spiritual consciousness means that to accept spiritual consciousness. It's not, we have so many rules and regulations, but we're talking about spiritual consciousness means to accept that I'm a spirit soul. And then we have to assert that consciousness, in spite of the fact that the material mind and the material senses are. Yeah. Maya's job is to say, Maya's job say, come on, I have so many nice things for you. It's going to make you happy. We have all these senses, and you're going to satisfy our senses, and we're going to be happy. It's a scam, because Maya can't deliver. Maya can only punish. But that's Maya's job. Maya's job is actually, she's working for Krishna. We're in the institution. The material world is like a crazy house. It's an institution for our reformation. if you go to an insane asylum and you interview the different people, and today, and you speak and you say, I'm doing a study, I'm in university and I'm doing a study, and who are you, sir? And the one says, well, I'm Napoleon. He said, very nice to meet you. How is your crusade going? And another one you say, who are you? He said, I'm Alexander the Great. And somebody say, then you say, another one, you say, excuse me, ma'am. She says, she's sitting very, properly. And you say, can you tell me who you are? And she says, yes, I'm the Queen of England. So, or Cleopatra. So this is an insane asylum, and we're all wanting, somebody thinks, we have these people. Didn't we have Napoleon? Didn't we have Stalin? Don't we have Trump today? Don't we? We do. He's not enough to be president of a country. Now, Venezuela has oil. We're going to get Venezuela. Then we'll get Greenland or Iceland, and then we'll bomb Iran. It's an insanity because it's thinking more. It has to be more, no matter how much one has. They always have to, whether it's little or it's big, everyone's thinking more. Because what we have is not enough. It's not enough because nothing material can satisfy us. So if we accept that what the heart of my soul really needs is to feel love for Krishna. That the heart of my soul, when it feels love for Krishna, or for my spiritual master, for Srila Prabhupada, for Krishna's intimate associate, for the real spiritual master who's empowered by Krishna. That's a big subject. But that simply by feeling love for Krishna and Krishna's associates, the heart becomes immediately uplifted and satisfied. Immediately. To accept it means, you say, you can go into a room of 100 devotees and say, how many people in this room accept this philosophy? Everyone will raise their hand. But real acceptance is not conceptual acceptance. Real acceptance is to adopt Krishna consciousness, that Krishna is the one I love, that Srila Prabhupada is the person I love. And by loving him, that will satisfy my heart, because these are spiritual beings that can reciprocate with us. So acceptance means to embrace the philosophy, to assert that I'm going to feel this love. So something stands in the way. When we live in the material world, there's so much pain individually, so much suffering, so much frustration, so much hurt, so much betrayal. In so many ways we've been hurt by people, by parents, by friends, by lovers, by business people, by scams. Everybody's trying to take advantage and exploit us, and we know it. So, fearing, defending. How do they defend? Nobody's going to hurt me again because my heart is closed. Nobody can hurt me. That's very good. Except it won't work for spiritual life. For spiritual life, our heart has to be very soft. We have to, so we've been cheated so many times, so then we have to trust. We have to trust Srila Prabhupada and Krishna. So, in other words, what we're trying to say is, to accept this philosophy is to open our heart to Srila Prabhupada and Krishna. To love. If people are thinking, when I become realized, I'll love. And Krishna and Srila Prabhupada are saying, when we love, we'll become realized. Should I repeat that? People are saying, when I become realized by earning enough points, then I'll have love, and I'll have joyful enthusiasm to go in the activities of and Utsahan. Srila Rupa Goswami says, you want to advance in Krishna consciousness? You have to be very enthusiastic, and you have to be very confident that Krishna is aware of your what's in your heart. And Krishna said, what does Krishna want from us? Bhakti mama bijanati. I don't show myself to anybody unless they love me. I don't care what they offer me. You can put $1 million, $1 billion, you can put $1 trillion on the altar. Krishna doesn't need money. Krishna has everything. Everything belongs to Krishna anyways, but he really likes to be loved. Srila Prabhupada is saying, they will reciprocate with our love and nothing else. If I love, if we love Srila Prabhupada, we'll want to please him, naturally. There's one purport I have on my computer, because I'm always collecting quotes, that Srila Prabhupada says, the brahmachari has to be controlled. He says, but it's not possible. He says, but if he loves the spiritual master, automatically he's controlled. Why? Because love spiritually puts one on the spiritual platform. And when we're on the spiritual platform, the material energy can't touch us. When we're on the spiritual platform, the material energy cannot touch us. So we're automatically controlled. So Srila Prabhupada says that the brahmachari, he cannot control, but if he loves his spiritual master, he's automatically controlled. It's just, it doesn't mean because he loves his spiritual master, he's going to try to please him. He will, of course, try to please him. But simply by loving him, it places us on the spiritual platform, because Srila Prabhupada is here to receive our love on Krishna's behalf. That's why he's comes to the material world, to receive our love on Krishna's behalf. And as we do practice loving Srila Prabhupada, what does he do? He reveals his heart to us. What is his heart? It's full of love of Krishna. He said, what is that? That his eyes are tinged with the salve of love. That verse from Brahma Samhita. Now I have mental block. He said that places us in our constitutional position. And when we're in our constitutional position, the influence of the material energy is removed. And if we're not in our constitutional position, the influence of the material energy catches us. And we're powerless to resist. we want love. The spirit soul needs love. Krishna wants love. He created us only for this purpose. This is the only reason why we exist. Sure, Krishna enjoys being loved. When Krishna enjoys pleasure, his desire for pleasure takes the form of Srimati Radharani. Isn't that amazing? In the spiritual world, as soon as has a desire, the object of the desire exists. It's not different from the desire itself. It's incredible, but the spiritual world. So Krishna wants love. He wants pleasure. And his desire for pleasure takes the form of Srimati Radharani. And what is it that gives so much pleasure to Krishna? It's how much she loves him. He says he wants to understand that love. He sees that her happiness is greater than his. Desiring to understand the glories of Radharani's love, the wonderful qualities in Krishna that only Srimati Radharani can appreciate because of her love, and the happiness that she feels when she experiences the sweetness of his love. The Supreme Lord Hari, richly endowed with her devotion, he appears from the womb of Srimati Sachi Devi like the moon appears from the ocean. That Lord Chaitanya is Krishna. He's come here to experience Radharani's love because it's so beautiful. So he can't resist. If we love Krishna, he can't resist. See, you can call Krishna Ajita. No one can conquer Krishna. But if someone loves Krishna, he's conquered. That's it. So we have to give up, become aware that of the hardness of our heart. This is actually what the mode of goodness is all about. There are different quotes in our literature. But the Brahmin is somebody who he's come to a certain point of understanding that the happiness that I'm looking for in external things, objects, power relationships, possessions, wealth, actually I can have that same pleasure inside myself and makes me detached from all this. And that's just the mode of goodness. And in the mode of goodness, one becomes happy. And that's what the Brahma Bhuta platform is all about. Feeling, what is Brahma Bhuta? Translation, spiritually joyful. One becomes joyful within the heart. And that joyfulness means that he has no more desire, hankerings, and he has no more lamentations about what he lost in the past or whatever. Why is he has no hankering, no desire for things outside, and no lamentations about things that happened yesterday or 100 years ago? Because he's filled with joy in his heart. Then he can be loving. Krishna says that. Brahmabhuta prasana, na sochati, na kankshati, no more hankering, no more lamenting. And when he understands his own beauty, like unto the sun as am I, says in Ishopanishad 17, realizing that we're spiritual beauty. Hey? So beautiful spiritual, that's what we are. Just covered a little bit with some... So he said, but when we feel that about ourselves, then automatically we see everyone as spirit soul. Atmavan Manyache Jagat. We see the world in terms of the quality of our mind. If we see the things outside not so nice, it means we're getting a reflection of ourself. It's a mirror like that. That the world is our mirror like that. Atmavan Manyate Jagat. We're seeing the world in terms of the quality of our own heart. Incredible. So then Krishna says when you start to be free from all this external desire and resentments and disappointments and frustration, and you see the beauty in everyone, and then Mad Bhaktim Labhate, now you can become a devotee. So you have to become, therefore Srila Prabhupada wants us to come in the mode of goodness. In the mode of goodness, one becomes not hard, not an ascetic, just a little, just enough. And then just to let go a little bit of this grasping, resentment, anger, hatred, all this. If you have these inside, immediately happiness, immediately have compassion on all these rascals. Of course, I'm a rascal too, but we're working on it, so step by step. So I shouldn't talk too long, it's not fair, but the idea is Krishna conscious, simple and sublime. It's not my words, it's Srila Prabhupada's words. Simple means it's very simple for the simple. Not for the big brain, not for the complex person, for the simple person. We have to be like children. How much jnana do we need? I'm not this body, I'm an eternal spirit soul. My constitutional position is that I'm Krishna's eternal servant in an attitude of love, and that's all we need to know. That's our jnana. Not millions of years of and then to it, but it has to be a step more than conceptual knowledge. It has to be, it's all a matter of understanding and accepting. Accepting means to embrace this knowledge, to do it, to be it. And as much as we be it, it expands within our heart. It continues to grow. It continues. The much we come closer to Srila Prabhupada with an open, joyful heart, he will share his enthusiasm for Krishna consciousness with us. Third verse, Gayatri Mantra. Angarudaya vidmahi Krishnandaya dhimahi tanagaro prachodaya. Let us meditate on our spiritual master and become enthused, feeling, sensing his enthusiasm, his enthusiastic bliss in Krishna consciousness. He's teaching us by sharing his Krishna consciousness, his enthusiasm, his love for Krishna with us. That's the way we learn how to become Krishna conscious. But to make that a living relationship and always be in the association of the pure devotee, always practicing Krishna consciousness in his association, under his guidance, he giving us the light. In his prayer he says, "Oh my Lord, evangelic angel, give us thy light, light up thy candle." There's Srila Prabhupada's prayer to his spirit, give us thy light. So we have to open our heart a little to get that taste. Okay, simple and sublime. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Ram
Krishna.
Prabhu.
Yes, I'm here. Simple and sublime. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
He lives forever in his divine instructions, and the follower lives with him.
Yes, and these are his instructions too.
Yeah.
It's not just a checklist that I do. I did
Right.
this today, I did this today, I did this today. But it is
It's cultivation, yes.
cultivation of a living relationship with the Absolute.
That's
the instruction.
Ratisha Mataji, if you want to comment or ask a question or anything beautiful, you can ask or comment. There you go. You're unmuted.
It's always blissful. Everything I hear give me food, and association with devotees is gold for me. Thank you so much.
I couldn't do it without you. No, it's true. I'm not pretending. Unless I'm talking like this with another devotee, but hearing, chanting, we need each other. I know that. Otherwise, I'm living. No, association is so important.
Can you mention, Ishan Prabhu, very briefly, there's the process of Adav, Shraddha, Tata, Sadhu Sangha, and this progressive method. Initially, does it Adav, Shraddha? Shraddha means some sort of faith, right? Then Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha, like you have faith in someone. Like, for example, we read Prabhupada's books, we develop some faith. And then comes association with devotees. And this association, that should bring us closer to Srila Prabhupada in that reciprocal exchange that you're talking about.
You know,
then,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Yes, Ishan Prabhu, go ahead.
I read one, I have one little book written by one of our godbrothers.
Yes.
About Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, a ray of Vishnu, I think it's called.
Right.
And he writes, it's very amazing, but he said, when I see my godbrothers, I can't give you word for word. It's over on the shelf. Maybe page 81, I'm not sure. He says, I see my spiritual master in all of my godbrothers.
Wow.
And then he said, then he takes it a step further. I see my spiritual master in every object. You pick up a plate, a watch, a stone. He's the external manifestation of the all-pervasive supersoul within our heart. It's amazing the things he says, but he said that we see our spiritual master in every object. I mean, one could put a sign on their wall to see Srila Prabhupada in every object. Eventually one will start laughing. You'll hug your plate or whatever. You know. We can't... Srila Prabhupada appeared... Okay, so you were asking a specific question, and I know I talk a lot. But so that we get some faith, enough faith to begin to hear, and then we, with that little bit of faith, we begin to practice what he's teaching us, and we're practicing it in his association, because by feeling his presence, it immediately increases our faith. Does that make sense?
Yes. That's the ideal association. Yes, increase this loving propensity towards the spiritual master. Yeah.
Yeah, we open up to him, and he's like the Lord in our heart.
Right.
He's the external. We can't see the Lord in our heart yet, at least. But we can relate to Srila Prabhupada as non-different from Paramatma. So the Upanishad is saying that he's just waiting for us to turn to him. But we're very busy, you know. We say, I'll be there, just wait 1 minute. But never ending. So, but turning to Srila Prabhupada is like turning to the Lord in our heart, who enlightens us. So, by being with him, he gives us the vision, the ability to have our faith increases in this whole orientation of the soul. It increases. And I can only talk for my own level. See, I can't talk about advanced subject matters, but Srila Prabhupada says this process in 1.5.25 of the Bhagavatam, 1.5.25, in the purport Srila Prabhupada says, the neophyte devotee, he, by associating with the pure devotee, spiritual master, he imbibes the taste of devotion. To imbibe is to drink. It's a metaphor. Or to imbibe is like a seed that imbibes water. When you put it in water, it swells up with water. It's called imbibition. To imbibe. He said, but what do we imbibe when we're with Srila Prabhupada? We imbibe the taste of his devotion just by being in association with him. He said the neophyte does that. And then he describes in that purport, in the last two sentences, all the different stages up to love of God. But he says, and all of it goes forward in the association of the pure devotee. But it starts in the neophyte stage to have that association, and he gives us faith. He gives us all the beautiful qualities. And he says, when we associate with him, the neophyte devotee acquires the qualities of the pure devotee by imbibing the taste of his devotion. So we have to, in a quote, it's not a mechanical process of having a good report card that I've done the whole checklist and I'm waiting for realization. It's not like that. It's about embracing Krishna consciousness now. That's the 1 second process, and there's the million lifetime process, but Srila Prabhupada is encouraging us to do the 1 second process. Yeah. And we have that choice at every moment, because I'm always forgetful, and then as soon as we remember, oh, okay, yeah, because as soon as we're out of touch, we're not protected anymore. It's just like when a person is in prison, and we are in the material. When a person is in prison, if he shows some enthusiasm, he can get parole. I mean, they place him under the direction and the guidance of an officer. He's called a parole officer.
Yes.
Srila Prabhupada's our parole officer. And when as long as they keep a relationship with the parole officer, they can maintain their freedom. But if they don't report to their parole officer,
they're going to go back in
breaking
prison.
Parole.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we break parole, if we don't stay tuned into our parole officer, Srila Prabhupada, then we're back in the prison again, back in jail. And
Good analogy.
the material modes take immediate possession of us. Immediate. And then we don't know what is arising in our heart. Because it's described in Nectar of Devotion how these desire seeds within the heart, they fructify and they arise within us, and we don't know what's coming up next. And it's almost like, I don't like to use this example, but if the bullfighter, the bull is coming and he's passing this cloth, and the bull goes by, and he doesn't get stuck by the horns of the bull. So we have to be that when these things come up within our heart, we have to be able to say, "Ole," and let it go. But if we're not taking shelter of Srila Prabhupada, then we'll get caught on those.
Yes.
We'll get pierced. So it's like, so we have to be very careful, because a person who's a thief, as a child, he didn't think like that. A person who's a murderer, he didn't think, when I grow up I'll do. But when situations come up and people become violent, they didn't plan it. It comes up in their karmic heart, and all of a sudden they're forced to act. They have they're powerless to resist. So we don't know what we can be, what kind of animal I can be. We don't know. And we have to be frightened enough to say, "Oh, Master, be merciful unto me. Give me the shade of your lotus feet."
Hare Krishna. Okay.
Yeah, like that. So
All right. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Thank you, Ishan Prabhu, Mother Ruchisa. Any last concluding words, Mother Ruchisa? You're good? Okay. Thank you, Ishan Prabhu. We'll continue next week. And if our viewers have any comments or questions, Ishan Prabhu's email is there. Thank you,
Thanks,
Prabhus.
Prabhu. Thank you, Hare Krishna.